with you one really funny opinion. But there is in Lapland there is a group of the shamans there who do something called collective dreaming. They will go together in seclusion and do the rituals with eating very little food and being in a solitude for a long time, and they will go and dream the dreams. And the dream have to be collective, same dream. So coming out of this dream, once of the shaman told me that actually the best thing happened in this planet right now is the Trump to be the president. I said, how is this possible? It's the best thing to happen. He said, yes, because he's so irrational, he's so crazy. That's actually create that awakening, that we finally wake up. Because before it will be another guy and everything looks similar. But he's so different than anything else. So he's the magician who waking us up. What do you think about that? That kind of theory.
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. First Maccabees chapter 2, start off at verse 15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Most High forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or on the left. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 15 to 22. Shalom. Want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson. The Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today is the 21st of January, 2025. All right, one day removed from the so-called inauguration of Eagle Face Demon Trump. All right, and all throughout from the beginning after November 4th with the whole election all the way to the inauguration, right? It seems like there's been a shift, right? A spiritual shift, all right, in America's attitude and it's the spirit of America, I should say, right? And what I mean by that is it used to be everybody going against Trump, and calling his supporters crazy and stupid and MAGA and all this extra stuff, to now it seems like everyone is on board and supporting, Trump. Some are calling him a king, right? Some are calling him the chosen one. Some are calling him the president of the world, so to speak, right? And it's like watching this whole inauguration, even the day before that, the same person who said he's going to be putting this LGBT no IQ thing to rest, he had LGBTQ people performing on stage, all right, to the damn YMCA song. That's his theme song. And when you go into that whole song, it's all about pedophilia and so on and so forth, right? Men going into the YMCA and picking up little boys and popping them. Okay, so it just shows you the hypocrisy. All right, and it's also highlighting that this guy is not coming in to serve the interest of so-called Americans, or at least fulfill the promises that he made to these people. Okay, he's coming in to fulfill the agenda of the elites. All right, and like the apostles always say, and many brothers always say, right, that he's just there. All right, he's just a figurehead, right? Just like all these other presidents, they're just figureheads to push the agendas of the Jays. Because if you don't push the agendas of the Jays, you're not going to be in that position. All right, and there's a whole list of so-called presidents and in their cabinets, right, and people in the Senate and the Supreme Court, all right, who are directly tied to the Jays, or some form of blood relations to the Jays, right? So they might be descendants of the Jays, or they're married into the Jays, or whatever the case may be. But they're all put in certain strategic positions to push the same narrative and agenda. Okay, and the agenda of the Jays is anti-America, anti-Christian, anti-truth. All right, and very soon, it's not going to take long. All right, once you start seeing a lot of these so-called emergencies start happening out of nowhere, you're going to start seeing how this guy Trump is going to start trumping over your liberties and your rights and your so-called freedoms. And we've been warning about this for a while. Okay, we've been warning about all these things happening suddenly, right? And especially now when you have this whole concept of so-called peace and safety. All of a sudden, there's a ceasefire deal in the Middle East, right? It's like, okay, cool, right? America has changed, Like, people are actually worshiping this guy. You got people in the so-called truth movement, right? They're all clowns anyway. Some of them are gatekeeping channels, right? And they all say, "Oh, America's saved." Trump just saved America from what Biden was doing and all this extra stuff. Little do they know that he's working behind the scenes, and sometimes even openly, all right, with people that really should be in jail. This dude had a 3-hour conversation with Kill Bates. Like, how does that happen? And what do you think they discussed? Huh? What do you think they discussed? They discussed the next 4 years, so-called 4 years, and how they're going to be able to bring about their depopulation agenda, right? How they're going to be able to so-called quell truth conversations on social media platforms and so on and so forth. This is what they were discussing. All right, and we know that the stage has already been set for Trump to come in and execute so many different unconstitutional, unlawful acts against American people and pretty much around the world. Okay, one example is, and I'm gonna go into this article here. One example is, he said that he's gonna put 100% tariffs on foreign produced goods or whatever. Like, how is that gonna help the American people? Because if Walmart, right, or whatever stores is out there, if they're importing goods into the country and they get hit with 100% tariffs, how the hell do you think they're gonna make their money back? All right, that payment, the tariff, is going to be passed on to the customer. See, so if it's 100% tariffs, they're gonna have to make their money some way, somehow. All right, how does that fix the American home and the economy and all these things that this guy promised? And very soon, these people are going to see it. All right, and very soon it's coming. Okay, which leads me to this article here, because we're heading to a test. Okay, that the hour of temptation is fast approaching, and we all believe through the Spirit that this is the guy who's going to bring it in. Okay, and in post-production, I'm going to put it in there, all right, of Marina Abramovich, all right, calling Trump the magician, like the guy who's crazy enough, all right, to be able to push this agenda forward. Okay, so it's all spiritual, man. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly who that guy is in the spirit. Okay. Now I have a quote here. This is all the way. It says, in the 60s, right? The KGB did some fascinating psychological experiments. Okay, and they learned that if you bombard human subjects with fear messages nonstop, in 2 months or less, most of the subjects are completely brainwashed to believe the false message. Okay, in 2 months or less. Okay. Typically, you see a lot of these changes happen within 3 to 6 months, right? This test was done in the 60s, where people's IQ was much higher than what it is now. So that 2 months thing, it might even be shorter than that, probably 2 weeks. You know, with how dumb these people are. It says to the point that no amount of clear information they are shown to the contrary can change their mind, right? And that's what's his name? Yuri Bezmenov talked about that in his documentary. I guess it was an interview, and he went into something known as subversion. Okay, where they're able to use over 50 to 70 years of propaganda. They're able to manipulate the minds of the people to the point where even when you present them with facts, you show them the evidence. You could take them to. He used the example of a so-called gas chamber or whatever, and he says these are the victims. This is what happened to them, and they're still not gonna believe it. Oh, you're just making it up, you know. But the reality is coming in, and again, it's been it's conditioning over time, right? But I wanted to go into this article here, which basically is leading into what's coming, right? The next global collapse, depopulation, and so on and so forth. Okay, and how they plan on doing it. Okay, we've been going over this for years now, but it's more prevalent now than ever before because these devils was planning for Agenda 21, right? And then 4 or 5 years later on, which would be this time, 2025, they're going to shift into a next gear, which is going to lead them to 2030, and then 2030, they're going to shift to another gear. It is all BS, right? Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Okay, that so-called New World Order is a vain thing. Okay, but let's read this real quick. It says, and this is on from naturalnews.com. All right, it says, Dr. Leonard Caldwell on decentralized TV, only 0.8% of humanity will survive the coming global collapse. 0.8%. Damn, it's like, was it 8 billion people on this earth? That's crazy. It says Dr. Leonard Caldwell, an expert in cancer reversal and holistic health, warns that only 0.8% of humanity will survive the impending global collapse, driven by what he describes as a deliberate satanic agenda orchestrated by a shadowy elite, right? And again, this stuff like this highlights the scriptures even more because here it is, they're using scriptural language, satanic agenda. Only the scripture uses those like the verbiage or the concept of Satan and so on and so forth, right? So if we're seeing things that's happening in these last days and people in the world who are not even in the truth are using this verbiage, that should tell you something. They're not using verbiage from the Quran or whatever other books are out there. It's always focused on the Bible, and that's why these devils they're always pitching a fit because we got the truth of the Bible. We're actually, not only do we have the truth, but we're actually teaching, all right, the truth. We're actually teaching the understanding, giving the understanding of what's actually written in the Bible that's been hidden for thousands of years, and to their benefit, because without the true understanding of the scriptures, then people are really lost, right? As the scripture says, darkness and gross darkness the people. Okay, so it tells you in the book of Psalm that what they walk on in darkness, right? The whole earth is out of course. You see, so the man of lawlessness, he banks on people's ignorance of the truth and understanding of the Bible, because with that comes order. Okay, with that comes order, and if you have an individual who's in order, it's harder for you to dethrone them. All right, kind of like what we just read in with Mattathias and his sons. All right, going back to the Maccabees, when the Greeks came in with Antiochus, all right, they were pushing for a so-called New World Order during their time. All nations should come under one banner. We're all going to do one thing. You got to do away with your laws, your beliefs, and come under us. But that's not going to work. That's not going to happen. Okay, same thing that this guy tried. Haman, wicked Haman, he tried that shit, and what happened to him? See, Antiochus, same thing. What happened to him? And Trump is going to follow the same thing. We're going to see what's going to happen to him too. Okay, but let's continue. It says he argues that the destabilization of governments, supply chains, currencies, and public health systems is not accidental, but part of a calculated plan to weaken humanity and consolidate power. He cites events like CV-19, the CV-19 demic, as engineered crisis, right? Which we've been said that, but they were taking our videos down, calling us misinformation and conspiracy this and harmful content and all this BS. But now the truth is out. So we'll see how they play it, right? We know they're gonna roll out a different narrative because they want people to believe the new hysteria, which is MP or what's the other one? The Angry Bird or whatever, you know? That's why having this truth and this knowledge, hey, Isaiah 33:6, right? The wisdom and the knowledge, all right, is what keeps us stable in these times because we're not looking at it from the world view. We're looking at it from the biblical view. Okay. And when you look at it from the biblical view, it's very cut and dry, it's straightforward. This happens, this happens, this happens. If you're able to endure all these things, you get delivered, you get saved at the end. Boom, that's it. You know? But to the world, it's like random events happening and oh my God, what if we do this? Maybe that could stop this from happening. No. It's biblical prophecy. It happens. That's it. You see. Continuing, it says Caldwell claims Vanessas are being used used to reduce the global population, referencing predictions that over 80% of Vanessa individuals may die by 2025. All right, and we are in 2025. All right. He also warns of future demics like MP and BF, which is the Angry Bird, as part of this agenda. Okay. Caldwell, and I mentioned this in a previous video, all right, that BF or the Angry Bird disease or whatever virus is gonna do more than just depopulate the earth. Okay, it's also gonna mess with the food system or the food supply chain system. Okay, because they're saying that it's something that's going on with the animals like birds and stuff like that. We've seen the prices of eggs going up and rationing. Okay, they're saying that you can't buy more than 2 dozen eggs, and the prices are higher. Okay, so they're euthanizing the animals in the name of getting ahead of it being a so-called bird pandemic among the animals. Euthanizing them. They're doing the same thing with the cattle because they said that it's also been found that the farmers who are farming these animals, guess what? They got the risk, so that thing is also running through them rampantly. So we got to do something about that. And now they said, it's a mutation going on that it could jump from animal to humans, and then from human to human. So hey, get ready. Okay, the last one started in March. I wouldn't be surprised if this also picks up in March or even prior to that. Okay, if we go based on what Peter Hotez was been saying, all right, by now we should have been hearing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the CDC start popping their head out with the who dat, start telling people what to do and certain precautions to take, all this BS. You see, just watch. So continuing, it says, despite the grim outlook, Caldwell's message is one of hope and self-reliance. He urges individuals to take control of their health, live in the present, and prepare for a decentralized future, emphasizing that survival depends on rejecting the system and cultivating resilience. Well, what is this guy talking about? See, that's somebody who doesn't have the truth. You see the difference? He's hoping in vain. You see? But our hope is filled with immortality, really. All right, the hope that we have is in immortality. These niggas, the hope they have is in what? Death. They're talking about survival. Survival depends on rejecting the system. You're already in the system. Ain't no rejecting it. They're just changing. They're just shifting it. And guess what? They're hurting people into it. So it's not, you ain't going to stand a chance to, it's too late in the game, bro. It's way too late in the game. All right. If people didn't resist back in 2020, before all of this happened, what makes you think they're going to revolt now? When they've been conditioned through social media and the news media and technology. Esau's pushing for AI and all this extra stuff to take over, the world. There ain't no revolting now. It's game over. So do you see the things AI is doing now? You know what I'm saying? So imagine the kind of propaganda they're about to use AI to push in the next couple of months. There's no revolting this, bro. You got to just prepare. All right? Prepare spiritually. All right? And that's the only way. Having your faith, all right, in Yahweh should be Yahushai. You know, because these devils, they about to go in, man. They about to go in, and they got the perfect guy to use. All right? And he surrounded himself with enough demons that wouldn't have any problem taking lives. Oh, that's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. Okay. So now you're really about to see that red horse, all right, take that piece out of the earth, man. They really about to go in. All right. Because they know it that they have but a short time. Okay. The whole TikTok thing that just came and went, you know, who do you think was behind all that? The same people who are pushing DJ Trump. You know? Anyway, so continue. It says, in a chilling and sobering revelation, Dr. Leonard Caldwell, an expert in cancer reversal and holistic health, has issued a dire prediction. Only 0.8% of humanity will survive the coming global collapse. Whew. Speaking on a recent decentralized TV episode with hosts Mike Adams and Todd Pittner, Caldwell painted a grim picture of a world on the brink of orchestrated chaos. And we've been talking about that, right? Out of the chaos is going to come that order. And Trump said it in his first term, all right, that he's a president of law and order. So what do you mean? What does he mean by that when he comes into power, so-called power, which he has now, when you've had over the past 4 years of straight chaos? You got everything going rampant. It hit to the point where borders was open, where you have so-called criminals coming in. So his way of fixing the problem is going to be through what? A cruel form of order. You know? So expect to see Rex 84 resurrected and so on and so forth. FEMA's going to get involved, and the National Guard, the military. We're going to see all that. We're going to see all that. Okay? It says, so it's the brink of orchestrated chaos driven by what he describes as a deliberate satanic agenda. Okay? His decades of experience in understanding the root causes of diseases and societal decay have led him to conclude that humanity is facing an existential crisis, one that demands urgent action and a radical shift toward decentralization. That's not going to help. Okay, if everybody was to listen to the prophets of the Lord and do as we're doing, you have a better chance resisting. But guess what? This ain't the time of resistance. This is the end of this. Why would anyone want to resist the end of this wicked ass empire? I mean, we're happy it's happening. See, some people might not be happy with the way it's going to happen or how it's going to go down. But guess what? If you have your faith in the Lord, you should be fine. You're going to be good. You know? And it's going to be, the Lord's going to do a quick work with this place. Quick work. You know? So just sit back, have your faith in the Lord, sit back and watch how he's going to destroy all this, because they're pitching it like this is, the dawn of an era and all this, the golden age of America. Nigga, your golden age been passed. It shit been passed, bro. You don't see this whole place going down? What does it say in Jeremiah? Let's get that real quick. All right. Let me see where we at. There's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse, let's see. Verse 6, start off at verse 6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, right? That's synonymous with Micah 2 and 10, right? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction, right? It says, be not cut off in her iniquity, right? Sin upon sin upon sin upon sin, the most wicked kingdom that ever existed, right here, Babylon, right? It says, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Okay, so your golden age has passed. See, but you're being rebellious. That's the nature of Esau. All right, we shall return and build the desolate places. That's their mindset. We're gonna make America great again. Such clown shit, right? It says what? For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. This is the time. Okay, the Lord is working a work. He's working right now. This is the time. he will render unto her a recompense, right? So you got to pay for everything you've done, especially to the children of Israel. You touch the apple of the Most High's eye. And in your mind, you thinking you about to complete the deal, complete the mission by coming full-fledged, full force with your AI and fully autonomous weapons and all this to come against the prophets and the elect, but it's not going to work. Okay? Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay? Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. All right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So there's nothing Trump can do to help and save this, so-called save this country. All right? They are destroying it from within. He's here to further that agenda. He's not going to change anything. He's not going to make things better, make America great again. None of that. Okay? Every single president, the one that comes after that president is always worse than the one before. So if you thought Biden was a problem, we gonna get Trump coming back, change thing. Trump is worse than Biden, or at least that's the script he's been given. You know, he's just gonna do it a different way than Biden, much more forceful, much more straight to your face. But we like it like that because guess what? It's gonna speed things up. All right, it's gonna speed things up. Okay. It says, forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and it is lifted up even to the skies. And ultimately, that's when we read in Revelation 18. All right, for in 1 hour hath thy judgment come. Okay, and you're gonna have all these ships and trade masters gonna be afar off watching America's burning and her destruction, man. All right, and Lord Willard is going to be underneath during the time of Nero Caesar Trump. Okay, so going back to the article, this guy is out here pushing out false hope, telling people you gotta come together to avoid this this existential crisis. The Lord is the one who's doing it. You gonna push against the Lord? It says Caldwell's central thesis is that the collapse of centralized systems, governments, supply chains, currencies, and even public health is not accidental, but intentional. Okay, and there's going into public health, I believe there's another article that I saw earlier that was going into America has already laid the groundwork. The U.S. has laid the groundwork for this thing called One Health. Okay, and I remember talking about One Health like a couple of years ago. All right, when the CV was still a thing, One Health was ultimately going to be the agenda. Everything is going to be in One Health, one portfolio, and it's all going to be underneath your C-hip, underneath your skin, right? So he's already laying the groundwork, having the infrastructure, putting so-called millions and billions of dollars into all this, building this AI infrastructure. What do you think that's all about? It says, quote, people need to understand that all of this happens on purpose, end quote, said the most blocked healer from social media. From the Wuhan CV demic to the destabilization of global economies, Caldwell argued that these events are meticulously engineered to weaken humanity and consolidate power in the hands of a shadowy elite. All right, and it's not really that shadowy because majority of them are dropping dead. Right, over the past couple of years, you've had major Rothschild figures drop dead. The two heads, you know what I'm saying? Jacob Rothschild and Evelyn Rothschild, they all dropped dead. Going to show you that no matter how much power you think you have on this earth, you're still not immortal. You're still not invincible. You know what I mean? The Lord could plague you with some crazy ass disease that you can't get out of. He's done it before. Okay? And he could take you out. Simple. Rockefeller, I think his name was David Rockefeller, right? He tried 7 different heart transplants just to stay alive, to continue being wicked. Like, nigga, what? To further their so-called agendas. A lot of things that we're dealing with now started with them Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, man. And they think they're just going, well, now we done destroyed this one. We're going to change it and keep on ruling. Like, no. All right. And they come out in the open, like they use platforms like the World Economic Forum. And I believe they got their whole Davos thing going on right now. All right, Davos is in Switzerland. Damn CERN is in Geneva, which is in Switzerland. Okay, what other shit that they got in Geneva? Switzerland. What other shit that they got over there? Mad shit. All kinds of satanic stuff be going on over there. All right. It says he mentioned that a epidemic doesn't start everywhere in the world at the same time because it starts in one place and spreads over months or years. He continued that, no, I'm gonna skip that. Caldwell pointed to the role of Vanessas in this grand scheme, describing them as tools of population reduction. And Gil Bates, all right, Gil Babes, he said his meeting with Trump, he discussed new technology that they're gonna be using to combat polio and all kinds of different other viruses and diseases that's yet to come. Like, nigga, how do you know that? How do you know what's yet to come? How do you know? You see? And he's investing millions and billions of dollars in this type of so-called medicines and technology and all kinds of stuff. It's like, why are you putting so much money and effort into stuff like this? Huh? Well, it brings us back to something known as cui bono. Who stands to benefit? See? Who stands to benefit? So they set it up, right? Problem, reaction, solution. But nowadays, it's just problem, solution. They set up the problem. They come for the solution immediately. You know? Don't be surprised if some form of emergency happens and without even people having the time to actually think or see what's going on, you're going to see solutions being put right there. Quick. Oh, your city's under lockdown, or your state is under lockdown, or it's going to be curfews. It's like, wait a minute. We don't even know what the hell is still going on, though. We're still trying to find out what happened. How come we're already on a lockdown? How come we're under curfew? How come we got the military policing our streets? No, we got to keep everybody safe. This happened, and now we're keeping everybody safe. No, that's how they're going to bum rush everything in. Watch. All right, so continue. It says, he cited the prediction of a geopolitical forecasting firm, Deagle, that said over 80% of Vanessed individuals will die by the end of 2025. 80%? Hey, that's judgment. Judgment from the Heavenly Father. Okay? It says, they're coming up with absurd things like MP, Angry Bird, and maybe the Dragon flu next, right? Dragon, right? The dragon, right? Cool. It says, he said, warning of a relentless push to inject humanity with harmful substances under the guise of public health. Okay? And that's just a conditioning method. Okay? It does two things. Of course, it's going to, get people sick and all these different things, but it's also a conditioning method of who will comply. That's why I read what I read in First Maccabees, because we have to be in the spirit of Mattathias and his sons, right? That no matter what happens, no matter the promises they make, first it comes off with promises and then it becomes threats. It's like, well, so were you really sincere about the promises you were making? Like, you were just testing me or something? Like, what's up? They're always going to give you, oh, if you take it, you're going to have more freedoms. You're going to be able to go here. You're going to have access to this. And then the more you say, nah, I'm good, then, hey, listen, if you're not taking it, we're going to put you in prison. We're going to chop your head off. We're going, it's like, what is this, man? What is this? Anyway, so continuing, it says, but at the heart of this collapse is a satanic anti-human agenda that infiltrates every aspect of society, your governments, your corporations, your media, and even science, right? And science spelled PSY. Okay, it's all psychological. All right. It says the Luciferians are behind all of this. You never hear their names. You don't even know they exist. That's why we don't get them, Caldwell told the duo. Right? Well, they put their names out there. The men of the Lord are putting their names out there, but you people don't pay attention. You call us what they tell you to call us, which is a hate group and all this extra shit. You have people now saying, oh, there are no prophets on the earth. Why? Because the government is telling you that. If the government was to turn around and say, hey, these are the prophets of the Lord, everybody would be listening to us. You see? But because they say, hey, that's anti-Semitic, this and that, it's like, fucking idiots, bro. And that's why they deserve everything that's coming to them. You know, we're not going to feel bad when we see the Lord casting judgment on these people. You know, because these are the same people that were saying the most annoying shit that anyone could ever hear. You know? It says Pittner agreed with the program's Salakia. Pittner agreed with the program's guest, continuing that the Luciferians, quote, hate God's creation, right? Anything good, beautiful, and true. See? So right then and there, we fit that category. We fit God's creation. We fit anything good, right? We fit anything beautiful and true. Okay? It's as he continued, they want to invert it, turn it upside down, and destroy it. See? Let's get that. Let's get this real quick. All right, it's the book of Psalm, chapter 82, and verse 5. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Why? Because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why. Okay? That's why. When we go up to verse 4, all right, Psalms 82 and 4, it says, deliver the poor and needy, which is who? Us. Starts with the elect, right? Because we don't have anything. Then how should I say what? He said, see if I can get that real quick. Hold on 1 second. In the book of Revelation, he said, I know thy poverty, right? But thou art rich. Get that real quick. Oh shit. Let me just go straight to it. Revelation. Chapter 2. And verse 10. Start from verse 9. All right. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. Right? So we go through all this. All right. In this earth, in this world, in this lifetime at least, you know, not that many brothers got it like that. You know, we all take it day by day. You know, ultimately, we pray that the Lord give us our daily bread. You know, just simplify things, really. And that it's less baggage, less shit you got to worry about. You know, the less you have, the less you worry about, which is good. And the Lord is going to provide the rest, you know. And you don't want to you don't want to be in the mindset of having everything here, because then what you going to have in the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Yahushua said, woe unto you that are rich, right? Woe unto them who are rich, for they have received their consolation. You know, so those of us who don't have it like that, that's a good thing, you know, because then it makes you strive for perfection even more. It makes you strive to get to the kingdom so you can have it all, you know. So it's good that we don't have it like that. It's great. You know, it says, I know thy works, right? The Lord knows our works and tribulation, the shit we go through, and poverty. He knows it all. But thou art rich, okay, because of what we have. We possess the truth, the keys to the kingdom, the understanding of the scriptures, okay, the infinite riches. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Okay, so the point is what? The Lord knows that we are what? We don't got it like that. All right, we're the poor and the needy. Okay, so Psalm 82 and 4 says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Okay, so of course we believe that the Lord is going to protect us from these satanic devils. All right, planning to destroy, you know, and turn everything upside down, man. Okay, and of course they're going to use propaganda like they always have. It's the same playbook, you know, diversion tactics and so on and so forth, man. All right, let's get this real quick. Let's see. We get this in the book of Isaiah. Here, this phone does this. Select it 1 second. All right, it's the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, right? And so in order for them to be justified, right, they have to demonize the truth, Okay, that's why the Jays, you got dudes like Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the so-called ADL, all right, pushing against the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. You know, it's such an annoying term to use, but that's part of the demonization. You know, so now people come up and we never call ourselves so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, but they call us that. You know, which really our answer should be, nigga, who the fuck you talking to? We're not Black Hebrew Israelites, nigga. Who the fuck? Like, who is that? You're just making up shit now. You know what I'm saying? If you call somebody by their by a different name, right? They either not gonna answer or you're gonna get a slap to the side of your head. You know, if they're aggressive and they're on that type of energy, you know. But ultimately, the Lord is gonna fight for us. He's gonna reveal all of this in due time anyway, right? It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil." Right? We live in a society that calls evil good and good evil. Why? Because they're ruled over by the man of sin, the wicked. Okay, who's being revealed every single day. All right, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right, and that's Esau Edom, and that's his motto. Okay, switching everything, turning everything upside down, creating confusion, right? Babylon. Okay, and then come around when everybody's all messed up. He comes out of nowhere from the little tunnels and shit, the little underground tunnels, and pop their heads out, talking about, oh, we got a solution. You know, let's sign a deal, let's sign a treaty, and we could fix everything. Anyway, let's finish off with this article here. It says, amid the doom and gloom, Coldwell offers a glimmer of hope. Decentralization. That's not again. Let's keep going, bro. It says he believes that escaping the clutches of centralized systems is the key to survival. No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. But that's okay. It says Coldwell himself has taken his philosophy to heart. These philosophies, man. All right, created his own country and surrounding himself with like-minded individuals who prioritize self-sufficiency, preparedness, and community. Guess what? If you come in that mindset of self-sufficiency and all this extra stuff in the new world we're entering into, if you don't have the Lord, you're not going to be good. Okay? They're going to hunt you down with their drones and all that. They pick up your body heat and everything like that, and they're going to be bombing your ass, man. Because you're going to be deemed as a so-called terrorist. All right, you self-sufficient, you prepared, and you a community. That's all terrorism right there. All right. It says if you're fighting the system, you're still in the system. You need to get out of it. He urged viewers. How do you do that? How do you do that, man? When these devils are pushing for a global takeover, where are you gonna go to escape what they're doing? How? And I bet you he has a cell phone, he has a credit card, a debit card, he has all these different, he has a home that he lives in, right? If you have all these things, how you going to leave the system? How? You're already part of the system. He has an ID, you know what I'm saying? He got it all. But yeah, he's urging his viewers to get out of the system. Like, bro, right? He said, we need to regrow. We need to grow our own lives, grow our own friendships, our own food. Nothing is more important than team play. Well, they're using BF as an excuse to come after the farmers. So what is this guy talking about? He's not living in reality. All right. It says Coldwell's prediction of blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He was in the role, but then he started saying some wild stuff. So we're just gonna leave it at that. All right. But the point is made. You know, these devils are not gonna slow down. They're not gonna stop. As a matter of fact, they're gonna escalate. All right, with their plans now that Trump is in power. Okay, and that's all because he showed it. All right, warp speed. He's going to come back with warp speed 2.0. Okay, and accelerate everything. All right, into the fulfillment of the MOTB. Okay, and that's not going to be a fun time. It's not going to be a fun time. All right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? So all those years, every planning, every step, every bill, every executive order, everything that they've had over the years, right? The groundwork has been laid, and now they're about to lay everything out. Okay, they've about to step on it and just roll on it and just do what they got to do. All right? The FEMA camps have been built up. They got lights. They got everything in there. The only thing that's left is people. American citizens. All right. So that time is coming, man. Get ready. DJ Trump is going to really fulfill a lot of prophecy. All right. And hey, Lord willing, he's going to lead us right into the Third World War and the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay. Ultimately, the last Trump. All right. But anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.
Final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction.